Somebody gonna turn my thing on? My monitor's not on. No, I do. Once we go live. Are we live? Are we on? Are we on? Okay. Okay. Hey, man. Did you put a border around that banana? Am I getting in the way of your picture, your trailer picture? I like our purple screen today. It's kind of Super Tuesday. I'm sure. Oh, Lord. I'm seeing a screen here. How to get Mozart. Now I'm seeing the trailer. We're brand new at this, y'all. Just give us a second. This is Michelle Peterson reporting live from Rocking Banana Studios. This is sponsored by Parallel Arc Media and the Chattanooga Bottled Water Appreciation Society. Now, we did our first ever, I'm getting used to this thing right here. Well, I got to keep them in the picture so that they get their sponsorship marketing collateral. I really must remember to pee before. Now, the Chattanooga, hold on. This is weird. I'm getting close to this. Okay, y'all, so next to me is the trailer. The trailer's sitting over there in Wuhan that aren't moving right now. Okay, get it together, Michelle. This is the second time I've done this, and this rocking banana, putting it in a frame with that. Okay, anyways, we are going to give credit where credit's due, though. This studio is sponsored by the Chattanooga Bottled Water Appreciation Society. And we thank those folks for, and we'll put them on there for helping us get this all off where we need to be. So yesterday, we talked about the old boy up there in Washington. I'm not laughing at the old boy, okay? We are pulling for him, and we're praying for him. And we had Rebecca join us, and she told... This is not right. This makes my heart go. Anyways, Rebecca joined us yesterday and told us about the thieves oil. I like that old gal. But I had 18 people call me yesterday and ask me, was I all right? And I appreciate all 18 of y'all for calling me. And I don't know if you noticed in the video, but I like to keep my collar up. As you can see, I'm going to stop messing with it. I like for you all, this is my second run at this, y'all, so cut me some slack, okay? I like for people who check on other people. And the deal is that this old gal brought this thieves oil, and she wanted to talk to me about it, but the closer she got, if you'll notice in the video, I start to rub my nose a little. And I may have hit it few times too hard, and that's why I had a nosebleed. And the way you can know it doesn't have anything to do with my heart, because, several people checked on me, including my mother. And we refer to her as Mama Gaw because she's the oracle. And anytime you need to know something, you call her, and she'll calm you down and let you know things are fine, which is what she did Sunday for me, and reminded me everything has a solution. And so we put those trailers up there to give you some idea of what Rocking Banana Studios want to let you folks know here on Super Tuesday. And we put purple up in honor of the red and the blue states. We prefer the green states, which is why we're promoting the Rocking Banana Studio in states that have legalized cannabis, because these people are going to need a lot of this to get through this month, because the feds just cut the rate for an economic stimulus a half a percentage point. Now, I don't know if y'all know the history of this, but in 19, I believe the Fed has cut and cut and cut, and they aren't getting ahead of these trailers, I'm telling you. And so we've given our due to the Chattanooga Bottled Water Appreciation Society. We want to say it right. We've given them their marketing collateral, so we're going to put that down now. We'll just put it over here because they didn't pay that much. Hold on. Okay. And we're going to talk a little bit about Super Tuesday. I bet you anything I can make a prediction. Hold on. This is going to be the worst voter turnout in the history of voting in the United States. I don't know how else to tell y'all, but the Fed is fizzling. And that's what's happening right now. That's our hashtag of the day. Hashtag FedFizzles2020. Because it won't matter what they do. They won't be able to reopen those Chinese factories for a while at least. They won't be able to get people to travel. They won't be able to get people to eat out. And they aren't going to be able to get people to buy cars. And the way I know this is because all markets are based on fear and greed. And I know that most people who know this in this country, need to know that when you make money off poor people, you can only make it for just so long until they figure out you're making money on the sweat of their balls. And I'm telling you right now, those Wuhan people have figured out that they're not coming back to work because ultimately their government does not care about them. And that's what's wrong with communism. And that's why when you buy those products from Wuhan, and then you tell that little boy up in Washington who's trying to have opportunity in his life that he needs to be quarantined because he's so stressed out, that we just got to pray for those people over there in China. Because right now, it's hitting the fan here in the United States. And I've known it for a while, and I keep telling people, these insurance people piling up this money, and they aren't giving any sort of economic stimulus to those of us that kept our manufacturing dollars here in America. And we're going to introduce a product tomorrow that's going to tell you about that I sell. And we're going to start talking about that product and how it can help you. And that's what the Rocking Banana Studios is about. And I just want y'all to know that I appreciate any of y'all who checked on me about my nosebleed. And poor Rebecca didn't realize I have a very sensitive nose. I'm a highly sensitive person to begin with. I'm not going to lie. And we're going to go off today in the color of royalty. Because this thing right here is not going to be easy for people who've been used to just picking up the phone and ordering something and be there in 3 hours. And it's not going to be easy because people are going to be basing their decisions now on fear. And the market may stabilize. It may not. I've been trying to look at the Baltic Dry Index to see what's happening over there, and I can't tell what's happening. And we're going to call this Marketplace Disruption 2020. That's our hashtag for the day, too. I always hashtag millionaires, not billionaires, because that's antitrust. That's what this is. The marketplace disruption that's happening right now needs to happen because these old boys have been making too much money on poor people. And that's what's happening right now. And we're getting a little bit serious with it because I don't make money on poor people. I treat people as respectfully and as fairly as I can. And the old boys that don't think that I do, well, they don't work for me anymore. And ultimately, that comes at a place where usually when they leave me, they miss me, and then I bring them back and tell them, come on back, fellas. Let's try it again and see if you got your heart right this time, because that's what it takes to run a business, a small business. And everybody's forgotten about small business in this country. And when Blue Cross Blue Shield keeps printing $500 and $600 million in the state of Tennessee, and they give $500 and $600 million to Nashville, and they don't cut us in the deal by giving us a little bit extra incentive in our deductibles and our money to spend, and ultimately they don't tell us that we matter anymore, well, then people stop buying things. And that's what's happened. And it's been happening for the last year or two, and the Fed's known it, and they don't know what to do about it. And they're going to take those interest rates all the way to zero, and people are going to still not buy things. Because ultimately, the gig is up. And that's what happens when you make money off poor people and you don't care about them. And that old J.D. Hickey over there that went to Duke, he lost his heart a long time ago. He's a doctor and a lawyer. Now, I don't know if you know those kind of people. If you threw an accountant, we'd have the trifecta of what's wrong with what's happening right now. And you have forgotten where you have where you came from, Dr. Hickey, Esquire. And that's why I pick on you. Because you got $3 billion in banks all around Tennessee that could stimulate this economy. And you're sitting on it on the basis that you get to make every decision of every working class citizen in Tennessee that gives you that money to mitigate their risk. So there you have it. I'm going to pick on old J.D. Hickey until maybe he takes another job somewhere. And it'll be good. He'll probably go to Washington, work for Brookings. Because what I always tell people is if you hire a lawyer to be your mayor, your city's going to be really boring. And we don't want Chattanooga to be boring anymore. And so that's what we're going to see is if we see this Super Tuesday low turnout, maybe other people will step up, other interested people. Maybe small business people will step up. Because that's what it's going to take to get these old boys to understand. It ain't the Wuhan that's coming after them. It's themselves. And that's what the bottom line is. I'm not a blamer. I sat next to Rebecca. I invited her to my table. And I didn't blame her for my nosebleed yesterday. It's just the bottom line is things happen for a reason. And we've got to remember that. We've all got to pray for each other. And this Super Tuesday is going to be an indication that people have given up. Because this could be the lowest voter count in the history of Super Tuesdays. Okay? And we're going to pray for everybody out there. And Fed fizzles 2020. If they cut it again next month, well, we're going to just turn this screen black. Because that's what happens on black days. Because every time they cut it, that means that they're saying to you, we need to give y'all more credit to spend. And it doesn't matter how much credit you give people these days. They are not spending because they don't believe in the system anymore. So y'all have a good Super Tuesday. I'm Michelle Peterson, and we're going to be funny tomorrow, hopefully.